So, and I hate to say that buyers hope that this happens, but I think one of the things that really savvy buyers try and do is distract the entrepreneur so much during the process of selling a company that the company actually ends up in a bit of decline, because the really savvy buyers want to use that as a negotiating tactic at the 11th hour. But even beyond that, selling a company becomes a full-time job, especially if you have your CFO involved in the due diligence process. You're involved as the founder in the process. Maybe you have one or two more team members that are involved. It is an unbelievable amount of work to sell a company. And what often, and I hate to say invariably, but very often happens is the entrepreneur now, all their focus is on their exit, and they've taken their eye off the ball of the core business. I can't tell you how many times we're in market, and my number one thing we start with when we go to market is, no matter what, you can't have a decline in the business. You can't have a down month, you can't have a down quarter. I don't want to see sales retract. I don't want to see margins get eroded. I certainly don't want to see profitability change unless it's changing in the right direction. And so many times the company just gets distracted. And it's human nature. It's a big process to sell a company. But if you are in decline in a process, you almost should just stop the process, get your stuff cleaned up. You only want to sell a business when you're on an upward trend, unless it's a distress sale. So focus, focus, focus. Use outside advisors. Make sure you have a plan ahead of time to make sure the business is not going to be in decline. Super important.
Any ideas on balancing it?
Yeah, time-wise, you mean? Like, how do you? Yeah, I think having one thing you can do, like a lot of entrepreneurs will get their CFO involved, and then they give all the work to the CFO. Due diligence is probably the most taxing part of the process. You're producing financial statements, your employment contracts, just all this like admin back and forth. If you hire an outside finance resource to work with your CFO to take the vast majority of work off of their plate, and let the CFO know that their number one job is to make sure the business stays healthy and profitable and on an upward trajectory. And then you as the entrepreneur, like you're just gonna have to work a lot and be super focused, and you're lying to your team because they don't know what's going on, and you're living these weird two lives. Like you take everything off your calendar. Like you have to be all in for your process at the critical moments. And again, your number one job is not selling your company. It's making sure the company's business as usual and continuing to thrive throughout the entire process.